Hello, Dan Joss. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Thank you. How are you?
I am very well, thank
Good.
you. So we've been talking about college this month and kids going back to school and how to fund it. And, there are some people who do a little gifting and a little saving for college and a blend of both. You want to share some thoughts on that for us?
Sure. I had kids that we put through college, and so we saved as parents.
Right.
And grandparents wanted to help. And so they gifted to that need that we had.
That's nice.
And so the first piece of advice, I guess, for grandparents is it's a good gift.
Right.
And there's ways to do that that benefit the student, the parents, and you as a taxpayer.
Okay.
And so that's always a good thing. But the first thing we talk about when we're talking about gifting, and particularly college, is can the grandparents afford it? There's a survey done by Fidelity that said 49% of grandparents feel a responsibility to help with the grandchildren's college costs.
49%.
So that means many, half think it's their responsibility or some of their responsibility to pay for the grand student's college,
Right.
or some of it. So as an advisor, we say, can you afford to do this? Because parents and children can borrow for college. Grandparents can't really borrow for retirement.
You have a point.
So our first goal is to make sure the grandparent is set and that they can afford to make gifts.
Okay.
Then we say, well, if you want to make a gift, how do you do it? And there's lots of ways.
They just
to
write a
do
check.
it. They can. They can write a check. If they wrote a check for $10,000, we go a long way towards some tuition and fees that we discussed previously. That would be part of their annual gift exclusion.
Right.
If they wrote a check to the university or college, it wouldn't be part of their annual gift exclusion.
It wouldn't.
Nope. So there's ways to give that can get you into trouble and not.
Right.
And if they put had a 529 college savings plan and put $10,000 in that for the grandchild, they could get a small state tax deduction.
Okay.
And then they could let that $10,000 grow. If you do that for a newborn, you've got a decade plus of tax-free growth, tax-free withdrawal if it's used for qualified education expenses.
Right.
And that way, the grandparent has made a gift, the markets have done some work, and it may turn into twice that amount.
And just like that grandchild, if you feed them both, they will both
They
grow.
both grow. Right. So I mentioned 529 plan. There's also a Coverdell Education Savings Account. There's your traditional UTMA or UGMA accounts, which are custodial accounts for the grandchild.
I just remember looking at the bills coming in and going, ugh.
UGMA. There's a Roth IRA that has been used for education expenses, a regular taxable brokerage account,
Right.
and then savings accounts.
Okay.
I remember getting a savings account that my grandparents had funded for me.
Nice.
That was kind of neat. So there's pros and cons of each of those different types of accounts. And sometimes it's a combination of those accounts that are best.
Right.
But first, can you afford the gift? Then how best to make the gift? And then we can go on from there. What if the grand student doesn't go to college?
Yeah. What if you got a couple of grandchildren, two go to college and one doesn't?
Right. And so how do you make the gift, and what do you do? That's why we ask that of our clients every year.
Yeah.
What have we done? Is this still good? Do we need to make changes?
Yeah.
Because some of those changes are easy to make, given the different accounts, and some of those have either tax consequences or penalties if you make changes.
Right.
And some of them are much more flexible than others too.
So you'll be able to have the conversation and talk about the tax benefits and consequences, but you're also willing to have the conversation and help them work through. Okay, so you want to pay for some college for two, but for the third one that's not going to college, do you give them any money or do you not give them any money, and how does that work?
Right.
Well, that's a consideration.
And there's plenty of students, high school graduates that don't go to college.
Right.
And they also would benefit from a gift from the grandparents.
Right.
So how do you do that so that the student benefits?
Yeah. And the fact that you've been doing this for as long as you have, and you've had so many different conversations and scenarios, you can help them think about things that they may not otherwise think about.
Usually we can think about things that they haven't thought about.
Yeah, that's good. All right. So one of the things they should think about and do.
Giving us a call
Yes.
to help with their gifting.
Yes.
Our number is 757-903-2127. Our website is jossbrown.com. That's Joss Brown.com.
Excellent. We thank you so much.
Thank you.